Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. We are moving into the last step of our practice assignment here. We're going to go ahead and colorize our sunflowers. So this step is really pretty easy. We just have to make a couple clicks here. So I want 3 different copies of this sunflower. So I'm going to zoom out here so that we can kind of see. I've got 1 copy right here, and I'm going to take this and I can just resize it a little bit. Grab that. And I keep forgetting I don't have to hold down shift. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, put that right there, and hit enter to accept my change. And I'm going to duplicate this layer a couple times. I can right click and say duplicate layer, and sure, copy B, and I take that and I have a new copy. Or you can hold down the Alt key, and if I hold down the Alt key and drag this, it is going to make another copy too. So the same thing that we are able to do in Illustrator, you can hold down the Alt key with the Move tool selected and you can duplicate a layer. I don't need this extra one, but I've got 3 of them, and there we go. So I've got 3 different layers. If I want to have some fun with it, maybe I want to rotate this one. I'm going to go out to the corner and I rotate that upside down. If you hold down Shift, just like in Illustrator, that's going to lock that into different dimensions or proportions. All right, I've got my 3 different layers of flowers here. So again, you can kind of see I've got that layer, I've got this layer, and I've got this layer right here. So we're going to pick one of these layers. I'm going to start with the topmost one right here. So I'm going to select this layer and we're going to add a adjustment layer to it. So I'm going to go down to the bottom of the layer menu and you see this black and white circle here. Click on that and you have a whole bunch of options. We're going to do solid color. So I'm going to open that up and you've got your color picker here. We can pick any color. So I'm going to pick for this one red. I'm going to avoid the super saturated red. I'm just going to go down here and make it a little bit more of a darker red right there. So I'm going to hit OK and you go, well, now everything disappeared. I can't see anything. That's because this layer is, filling everything. So what we need to do is we need to change how this layer is interacting with the other layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this layer and I'm going to say let's make this what's called a clipping mask. So a clipping mask is going to allow this to clip only to the layer that is right below it, which is this particular sunflower. So you see this little arrow pops up and it says, oh, you only want this layer here to affect the layer immediately below it. So that's a really nice feature, that clipping mask. You right click and I could do release clipping mask and it would show up and create clipping mask, and there we go. So that little arrow bumps in there to show you that. So it's making the flower red, but we can't see any of the details at this point. So we need to change also the mode of this layer right here. So I'm going to go up where it says normal with my red color layer selected. And I'm going to check out one of these other options. And there's a whole bunch right here, but what we're going to do is go down to the one that says color. Color, I think, is going to have the best impact for us. So when we do that, that's the effect that we want to get. So let's repeat that step real quickly on the other couple layers here for us. All right, so let's go ahead and repeat that process for these other 2 flowers. So let's see, we're going to take this one right here. I'm going to select this one. And I'm going to go ahead and add my adjustment layer, solid color. This time I'm going to pick a blue for it. Let's go maybe right about here. That looks pretty good to me. I think that's the right color, blue. And we need to make this a clipping mask. So we right click, create clipping mask, and then we need to change the layer mode from normal to color. And there we go. And let's try that one final time. Our last flower over here. Solid color. Pick my yellow. There we go. That looks pretty good. And clipping mask. And change that from normal down to color mode. And there we go. If I zoom out, hide my layers here, zoom out. I have all of my color changes on there. They look pretty good. So we did our file in place. We cut out our image, which is the most challenging step, and then we went ahead and added our adjustment layers and made them clipping masks and changed the color mode, and we are all good to go. So you have now learned pretty much all of the basic techniques that we need to create our assignment. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save my document. It's going to save here, and I'm going to do a quick export as PNG. It's going to pop up for me here. I'm going to pick where I want to save it and hit save on that file, upload that finished assignment for me to show me that you were able to complete it. And now we have all the skills that we need to create our next project. So have fun with that. I'll see you in the next video.